3 points. Just
It-
think about that. 3 points.
It's nothing.
In a whole season, it's a rounding error. It's one kick that goes one side of the post instead of the other. But when that's the margin in a grand final,
Yeah.
well, it's everything.
Oh, it's the difference between a joyful reunion in 10 years and one where everyone just sort of stares into their drink wondering, what if?
Exactly. And today, we are going deep on exactly that. We're unpacking the AFT Dice Season 11 Grand Final, Wednesday, February 11th, 2026.
Metricon Stadium, the Gold Coast Suns versus the GWS Giants.
And looking at all the stats we've got in front of us, this wasn't just a close game. It was a statistical anomaly. It was a thriller.
It really was. I mean, this one delivered on every single promise a grand final makes. You had momentum swings, clutch moments, everything.
And that's really our mission today on this deep dive.
Yeah.
We have to move past that simple headline.
Yeah, Suns win by 3.
Right. We need to figure out how on earth the Suns lifted that trophy when, the Giants actually had more scoring shots.
Which is the burning question. That almost never happens. If you generate more shots, you should win the game. But to understand that finish, you have to go back to the start. You can't just look at the end result.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's go back to that Wednesday afternoon. Metricon is packed. The Suns have the home crowd making all the noise. But the Giants didn't seem too bothered by it early on, did they?
Not at all. In fact, if you look at those first 25 minutes, the Giants, the visiting team, they actually looked like the ones who settled faster. They were controlling the ball, controlling the ground.
And the scoreboard showed it. At quarter time, it was GWS 4.6-30, leading Gold Coast 3.5-23.
So a 7-point lead.
Which doesn't sound like much.
No, but in a grand final, that first quarter territory battle is huge. The Giants had 10 scoring shots to the Suns' 8. That tells you they were winning it out of the middle and locking it in their forward half.
Wait, there's a number in that scoreline that just jumps right out at me. 4 goals, 6 behinds.
There it is. That's the first little crack you see. When you're on top like they were, you want to put a team away. You want that to read 6.4, not 4.6.
Why is that early inaccuracy so important? Is it just the points you leave on the table?
It's more than that. It's psychological. If you kick 6 straight, the opposition defenders start to panic. They look at each other. But when you keep missing, they get a little burst of confidence. They think, okay, we're getting beaten here, but we're still in it. You've let them off the hook.
So the Giants are leading, but they've kind of left the door open. And then in the second quarter, it felt like the Suns didn't just walk through that door. They kicked it off its hinges.
This is where the whole game flips. It wasn't just a momentum shift. It was a tactical masterclass from the Suns.
Okay, so the numbers for the quarter. The Suns kicked 4.5. Good quarter. But the Giants, they were held to just 1 goal for.
1 goal
Yeah.
for a whole quarter after they just looked so dominant.
That's just an incredible defensive effort.
So how does a team even do that? On the ground, what actually changes? Well, it almost always starts at the source. The Suns must have just clamped down in the midfield. But looking at the stats, it's also about how their defenders set up. They stopped playing one-on-one and started guarding space, cutting off the easy kicks inside 50.
So instead of the Giants forwards leading into open space, they were running into
A wall of red and gold, exactly. And that creates a half second of hesitation for the player with the ball, and that's all it takes for the pressure to arrive. It's a domino effect. The Suns turn the screws.
And by halftime, the whole story had changed. Gold Coast were up 7.9-52 to the Giants' 5.9.
40. A 12-point lead to the home side. You can just imagine the feeling in those two locker rooms. The Suns are flying, and the Giants are sitting there wondering what just hit them.
But even in that quarter where they got smashed, the Giants still kicked 4 behinds.
It's that recurring theme, isn't it? Even when they got a rare chance, they couldn't convert it. At halftime, they're sitting on 5 goals and 10 behinds. That starts to get in your head.
Okay, so halftime is over. We head into the third quarter, the famous premiership quarter.
And you're thinking, okay, one of these teams is going to grind the other one into the dust here.
Except that didn't happen at all. It exploded into a shootout.
Both teams just threw caution to the wind. It was amazing to watch.
The Suns piled on 6 goals too. They raced out to 90 points. Honestly, at that point, I thought the game was over.
And for most teams, it would have been. The home crowd is going ballistic. The opposition is kicking goals for fun. But this is where you have to respect the Giants.
They didn't just hang in there. They fought back. They kicked 6 goals, 6 of their own.
12 goals in a single quarter of a grand final. Just incredible end-to-end footy.
So at the last break, the score is Gold Coast 90, GWS 82. An 8-point game.
After all of that, it's basically anyone's game.
I want you to put us in that huddle for the Giants. You're exhausted, you've had more shots, but you're behind. What's the coach telling you?
Oh, that's a tough one. You can't talk about the misses. You just can't. You have to focus on the process. You're saying, look what happens when we run. We just kicked 6 goals. We're all over them. Their legs are gone. You have to sell belief.
And for the Suns.
The composure. Just breathe. We have the lead. We're at home. Make them earn it. Don't panic. It's all about slowing things down while the stadium is losing its mind.
And that sets the stage for the final quarter, where this game went from being a great one to, well, an old-timer.
And it all came down to one word: efficiency.
The Suns were just ruthless. They kicked 5 goals won in that last term, 5 straight goals before 1 miss. They finished on 18.13, 121.
That is just ice cold. To kick at that level of accuracy under that kind of pressure, that wins you championships. Simple as that.
And then there's the other side of the coin. The Giants, they fought so hard, they kicked 5 goals as well, but
That's the but. That will give them nightmares.
they added 6 behinds.
Okay.
6. They finished on 16.22.
19, 22. It doesn't even sound like a real score.
The final siren goes. Gold Coast Suns win by 3 points.
And we really have to stop and let that sink in. The Giants had 38 scoring shots. The Suns had 31.
So they created 7 more chances to score and lost.
7 more. If you ran a simulation on that, the Giants win that game 9 times out of 10. Maybe more. This was the one time they didn't. It's just brutal.
And 6 of those behinds came in the last quarter alone.
Can you imagine the pressure in those moments? Your legs are gone, the crowd is screaming, and you just miss 6 times.
What causes that? Is it just a skills breakdown? Is it mental?
It's everything. It's a horrible cocktail. Fatigue messes with your technique, for sure. But the pressure just magnifies every little doubt. The goals start to look tiny. And once a couple of guys miss, it can get contagious. The next guy up is thinking, don't miss, which is the worst thing you can possibly think.
While the Suns are at the other end, kicking 5.1.
And that's the game right there. That's the whole story in one stat line. 5.1 versus 5.6.
It's just staggering when you think about it. If just 2 of those 22 behinds from the whole game, any 2, had been goals, GWS wins.
They didn't even need to be great. They just needed to be average. 18.20 would have done it. It just shows the difference between momentum, which the Giants had, and composure, which the Suns had.
Do you think the home crowd, the Metricon factor, played a part in that?
You'd have to say it did. It just adds that extra 1% of pressure on the visiting team's kick and gives your guys that little lift. In a 3-point game, 1% is a lot.
Here you look at the whole game, Giants early, Suns clamp down, a wild shootout, and then the Suns just hold their nerve at the end.
It's the perfect story arc for a classic game, isn't it? It's why we love it. All the planning in the world, and it comes down to human beings under pressure.
The final verdict. Gold Coast Suns, 18.13, 121, defeat the GWS Giants, 16.22, 118.
An absolute classic.
Okay, before we finish up, let's debate the real turning point. Is it just the inaccuracy at the end, or was it something earlier?
For me, I keep going back to that second quarter, that defensive masterclass. If the Giants kick even 2 more goals in that quarter, they probably lead at halftime, and the whole psychology of the game is different. That period of dominance from the Suns' defense gave them the buffer they needed to survive at the end.
That's a great point. It let them absorb the final attack. For me, though, I can't get past the Suns kicking 5.1 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's not normal. That is pure mental steel. If they kick a more standard 3.3, they lose the game.
And maybe one doesn't happen without the other, right?
True. So, to finish, here's a thought for everyone listening. I want you to imagine something.
Uh-oh.
Imagine you're the coach of the GWS Giants. It's the morning after. You walk into your office, and the stat sheet is on your desk. You created enough chances to win, but you lost because you kicked 22 behinds.
A painful morning.
What is the very first thing you decide to focus on for next season to turn that 3-point loss into a win?
Now that is the question.
Is it purely a skills issue? Do you spend the entire preseason just drilling goal kicking until they can't walk? Or is it a mental thing? Do you hire a team of sports psychologists to work on composure under pressure?
It's such a tough call because if you overcorrect and focus on it too much, you could make the problem even worse in their heads.
It's a brutal question for the Giants to answer. But for the Suns, I imagine it's just one long party.
And they earned it.
The AFT Dice Season 11 Grand Final, a game we will be talking about for a very, very long time. Thanks for unpacking this one with us.
My pleasure.
We'll catch you on the next Deep Dive.